Today we're going to be talking about Vanilla Powder, the original one by Matiere Premiere and the Vanilla Powder Extrait version. We're going to be talking about the differences between these two scents. I'm going to be sharing some more affordable alternatives to this, as well as some tested and loved layer combos that you can do with these fragrances. Let's start off by talking about Vanilla Powder. So Matiere Premiere is a French niche luxury fragrance line. I'm probably gonna butcher his name, but Aurélien Guichard. He is the founder of the Matiere Premiere line, and he's also the perfumer behind the Vanilla Powder fragrances. And this line is all about trying to make fragrances that are based on real, raw materials. So the only notes that he has listed for the Vanilla Powder perfume are Palo Santo, technically a Palo Santo oil, Madagascar vanilla, coconut powder, and white musk. I think it really does smell like a literal blend of all of those. A very, very musky, unisex, coconutty, vanilla-y, Palo Santo-ish type of fragrance. I think that the coconut is one of the more dominant notes, at least to my nose, especially upon the first spray. It can sometimes come off a bit harsh or screechy to some people. That's why I think that this has been met with mixed reviews. Some people like myself love it. Other people feel like the coconut is a bit too rare, which I can understand, but I personally really enjoy. It is not at all your usual sugary vanilla, and it just has a very raw and sensual characteristic to it. I think it's the blend of the musk with the sweet vanilla. It's just done in a way that feels almost primal, but still really good. I feel like when musk is done really well, you smell a little bit of funk, but it's also addictive to where you want to keep smelling it. If you like musk and you like coconut powder, then you might enjoy the Vanilla Powder. If you hate musk, this is not for you, my friends, and stay away. Another thing to mention about the coconut powder in this fragrance, most of the time, to my nose, coconut powder is done in a way that smells very artificial and cheap in fragrance, and I can't stand that. This smells like the most elite coconut powder to me. It doesn't smell fake or artificial at all. Of course, I don't think that they're actually diffusing real, coconut in here. Maybe they are, I don't know. But it doesn't smell that way. It smells like an expensive, elegant type of coconut powder that is just amazing. I'm also not someone who typically enjoys powdery scents. If you are like that and you don't like your baby powders, your really dryer sheet powders, I wouldn't worry about that because it's not that kind of powder. It honestly is more like a powdered sugar or coconut powder that you would get on food, like that kind of light, fine dusting of a powder, not the kind of diaper powder that I think a lot of us hate. It is absolutely gorgeous. In terms of projection and longevity, this is nuclear. This is a beast. This is not to be messed with. This is not to be taken lightly. This is not a joke. This will absolutely, or it should last you at least a solid 8 hours. You can definitely go nose blind to it, but you can go nose blind to so many scents, especially if you spray them like right underneath your nose, or if they're very strong, your brain will just stop smelling it. But ask people around you, I bet you they would say that they can smell you. Now let's talk about the Vanilla Powder Extrait version. To my surprise, I was expecting this to be even more beast mode than the original Vanilla Powder, but I don't think it is. I think that the straight version is actually a smoother, less coconut heavy, almost creamier version of the original. And I think if you had to pick one as a blind buy and you wanted to pick one that might be a bit more mass appealing, I would say go with the Vanilla Extrait. There are a lot of people who have told me that they can't stand the original Vanilla Powder, but absolutely adore the Extrait. And I think it's because for some people that coconut in the first scent that I mentioned is just too much for them. It comes out too screechy, too harsh, just too strong for them. This one really tones down the coconut, while it has great longevity and projection as well. I think because the coconut seems more tame, it doesn't come quite out as strongly and as intensely as the other one, but it still has great performance, if that makes sense. For example, I was wearing this to work on a Friday, and one of my coworkers told me that he went to the office the next day on a Saturday and he could still smell my perfume. Now, either this has amazing longevity or my coworker is a mutant and he just hasn't told us. Either of those could be plausible. I'm really not sure which one it is, but I'm willing to bet it's that this is very, very strong and long lasting. And if you wear it in a small bubble space, it will last for hours. So the notes for the Vanilla Powder Extract are very close to the original, so you still get the Palo Santo, the Madagascar vanilla, the white musk, the coconut, but they've added on tonka bean. And I think it's the tonka bean that helps it to become creamier and a bit sweeter, just a bit more rounded out, not quite as rugged. It is gorgeous. But at the same time, it still does smell very similar to the original, just again, creamier, more vanilla, sweeter, and more toned down. I actually think I prefer the scent profile of the slightly creamier, sweeter version of the Extrait over the more coconut heavy, harsher take of the original. However, if I had to pick just one, I would still pick the original because I think it's stronger. I think it's more of a beast mode fragrance than the Extrait, even though they're both very strong. And because I love layering, I have a layer combo that to me almost turns this into the Extrait version, but can't go wrong with either. Now, if you're not looking to spend over $400 for either perfume, then let's talk about some more affordable alternatives. Now, the first dupe that I'd ever smelled for Vanilla Powder was this beauty right here. This is called Parfum by Cudlush. Gorgeous bottle. The only thing that annoys me is that this little piece right here wasn't glued properly and started to come off, but I was able to push it back into place. But sometimes with packaging, you get what you pay for. Thankfully, the juice of this is phenomenal. This to me is a slightly sweeter take on the original Vanilla Powder with definitely less projection and longevity, but it smells so good. Like a slightly fruitier, sweeter version of the original Vanilla Powder. Notes for Parfum. This is gonna open up with bergamot, jasmine, musk, coconut, and almond in the heart. And the base is going to be vanilla, cedarwood, and nutmeg. It's an Eau de Parfum, 3.4 ounce bottle, great price point. Really excellent option if you want a slightly sweeter version. I don't know if this was trying to be the original Vanilla Powder or if it was trying to be the Extrait. But I would say, even though it's not a one-to-one of the Extrait, it's definitely not as creamy. You're missing that tonka element. I would say it's probably closer to the Extrait than the original, simply because of the added sweetness from the bergamot. The almond kind of give a little bit of that tonka-y vibe, but not exactly. And it also, again, like I mentioned, has less of that projection and longevity. So I definitely am not calling it an excellent one-to-one dupe of the Extrait. But if I had to pick one, which one is it closer to? I think it's closer to the Extrait version than it is to the original Vanilla Powder. The next affordable option that I have to show you, I would say, is honestly as close to a Vanilla Powder dupe as you are going to get. This thing, I know no fragrance dupe is ever technically 100% the same as the original, but this thing is so damn close. We are talking about Queen of Arabia by Lattafa. This is one of their newer releases. I have tried this multiple times back to back, comparing this with the original Vanilla Powder, and actually kind of scary how close it is. So let's go over the notes for Queen of Arabia. This is gonna open up with ylang ylang, nutmeg, grapefruit zest. In the heart, you're gonna get asmine, I have no idea what that is, rose, white florals, and the base is gonna dry down to vanilla, amber, and soft woods. I will never understand how sometimes you can see notes in fragrances that just make no sense. Like, where is the coconut? You're telling me there's no coconut in this? Somehow it smells like there is. I don't know, bro. But regardless of all of that, believe me when I tell you that this is extremely, extremely close to Vanilla Powder. Now, if I'm being honest though, do I think that it's good enough that I will never buy Vanilla Powder again and that I'll just stick with Queen of Arabia? No, I'm not gonna do my Vanilla Powder dirty like that. There is something that the Vanilla Powder has, I don't know what it is, that when I compare them skin to skin, while it is so crazy close, it just has this extra like je ne sais quoi that is different. I think it's a bit stronger as well in terms of longevity and projection. While the Queen of Arabia is a beast, don't get me wrong, I still think that this is like a nuclear beast, and it just has something in it that makes it a little bit more enjoyable for me to smell. But that difference is very small. It is not a large gap. And that's coming from me, who is, smelling perfumes all the time. And I can be very picky and particular about this one small nuance in this fragrance. If I really like that nuance, then I can't replace it with something else. I can be very like, no, it has to be just like that. I think to a regular, normally functioning human being who's not a perfume psychopath like myself, this is probably going to get it done for you. You have to be completely in love with Vanilla Powder and want nothing to ever change about Vanilla Powder for you to rationalize continuing to spend over $400 for this over Queen of Arabia. I personally fall into that crazy category, but I think most people will be completely satisfied with Queen of Arabia, or hell, try out Queen of Arabia, try out a sample of the vanilla powder and compare it for yourself and see if you find the longevity and projection and just that extra something about the raw materials and quality of the vanilla powder to be a good enough argument for you. Also, what's cool about the Queen of Arabia is that you're going to get 3 additional samples with it. And this is something that I've never seen Lattafa do, so I hope that they keep doing this, but it's gonna come in this really cute, whoops, upside down. It's gonna come in this really cute box. And then when you open it up, you have these 3, I don't wanna say how much, I don't know if these are 10 milliliter, 8 milliliter, whatever. But you have these 3 like travel size samples that will come with it. I don't know if they're different for each purchase or how that is, but the 4 samples that I got, I don't know, I keep saying 3, it's 4 samples. The 4 samples that I got, I think it's because I took one of them out. Anyways, the 4 samples that I got are Vintage Radio, excellent, one of my favorite male scents by Lattafa. Eternal Oud, not for me, but clone of Grand Soir by MFK, and Nebras, which is inspired by the original Billie Eilish scent. Oh, and then there was Queen of Arabia number 3. I don't remember what that is supposed to be duping. I actually haven't even tested it out yet. I gave it to my husband a little bit ago, so I can't really speak on it, but it's just cool to know that you're gonna be getting some samples. If all of the Middle Eastern fragrances start giving us samples with all of their purchases, oh my God. Bro, then you designer and niche brands need to step it up, because this was what, maybe between 40 to 50 bucks? To spend between 40 to 50 bucks on a fragrance and get 4 samples and really cool packaging, you designer and niche brands need to step it up if that is the kind of heat that they're coming with. Anyways, now let's get to one of my favorite sections of this video, which is layer combos. I am a layering fanatic. To me, it's one of the best ways to make sure that if you're wearing a fragrance that everyone has, well, not everyone has your layer combo, unless of course you have a YouTube channel where you share it and then everybody wears it, in which case, yeah, everyone has your layer combo, but it's okay. I'm here for the people. I have 2 layer combos for you that can either be done with the original vanilla powder or the vanilla extrait version. And of course, they can also be done with those 2 alternative, cheaper options that I showed you as well. I think that both vanilla powders are true unisex scents that either gender can get away with. When I wore vanilla powder, the extrait by itself, the other day, one of my coworkers says, oh, I feel like I smell like a cologne, like a masculine cologne. So that's what she thought it smelled like. To me, I really think that it can lean in either direction. It depends upon you, what kind of scents you wear, and who is around you. Let's start it off with the more masculine layer combo. It's gonna be Eternal Vanille by Lattafa with vanilla powder or the vanilla extrait. If you've not smelled Eternal Vanille, this is a very polarizing, mixed reviews kind of vanilla. This is an original creation out of the house of Lattafa. It is a very deep, dark, woody kind of vanilla that has that extra Middle Eastern twang to it, as I like to call it. Because I don't know what the note is. It just smells like something out of the Middle East, like some of their spices, some of their, I don't know, something. It just smells like this has that in it. And I'm not saying that as a negative, I'm saying that as a positive. I think it works really well with this scent. But I know that a lot of people don't like this scent. I think it's really, really nice when layered. It's not a scent that I grab on its own, but I really enjoy it layered. And as I've continued to have this, I really feel like it's gotten stronger over time, or maybe my nose has changed, I don't know. Before I thought it was very light, but it definitely is coming across a lot stronger now, which I'm really happy about. So notes for Eternal Vanille. It's gonna open up with blackberry. In the heart, you get Cocoa Pulse, which is Lattafa's special compound, vanilla caviar, cacao, and the base is cedarwood, acagila wood, tonka bean, amber fix, which is basically ambroxan, benzoin, and musk. This is something that Morticia out of the Addams family would wear on its own. When you add this with the vanilla powder or the vanilla powder extrait, it just takes on even more of a sensual, darker, strong, rich, interesting, complex kind of scent that I think would smell incredible on a man. I actually have both layer combos today on each arm, and it's just a dark, coconutty, vanilla-y, little bit of sweet, but not too sweet scent that I think leans masculine with these 2 together, and I just really enjoy it. So that is one that I would try out if you already have this and you like this. Try it out with the vanilla powder or the Queen of Arabia or the Hudlush Persan. Now, my more feminine layer combo with vanilla powder is gonna be featuring what I would say is my favorite perfume that Hudlush has ever created. Like, this shit is so good. I'm talking about Vanille Blanc. If you've been watching my channel, you've probably seen me talk about this before because I honestly wear this all the time. I really, really enjoy this scent. When I first got it, I was not impressed. I thought it was very light and just kind of smelled like vanilla skin, and I just wasn't wowed. I don't know if my nose has changed or if the perfume has changed. doesn't really matter to me. All I know is that now it is delicious. Notes for Vanille Blanc: vanilla, powdered sugar, apple. In the heart, you're gonna get amber, white florals, cashmere, and the base is sandalwood, benzoin, and vanilla. This is a very sensual, powdery sugar, sweet, smooth, silky vanilla scent on its own. When you combine it with the unisex vanilla powder, either the Extrait or the original, oh God. It is just like, to me, one of the most perfect adult, musky, coconutty, feminine leaning fragrances that are just incredible. And that's why I said that if I had to only pick one, I would pick the original vanilla powder, because this is one of my favorite layer combos with the vanilla powder, and I think it brings it over into the territory of the Extrait, which is smoother, sweeter, blah, 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 but in a different way, right? There's no tonka, but it's just beautiful. That is everything that I could tell you about the vanilla powder line. Let me know if you've tried it or if you're gonna try it in the comment section below.